Welcome into the Vickie Luna Show. I am excited today to have my guest, which is my friend, my colleague, my goddess guru, awesome person to really strategize with and really create with. And so welcome in, Kris Seraphine.
Thank you so much, Vickie. I love being on your show. You're always so fun and right on point with everything. And it's exciting that we get to talk about 2022 because a lot's going on. But just
before we talk, hold on.
A little bit about me.
I want to know what you do. So, because you are the creator, you have a whole bunch of different titles and do a whole bunch of different things. So let's share with people all the great things that you do.
Yeah, well, obviously I'm an astrologer. I've been an astrologer for the past 15 years or more, maybe 20 years now. And I've been a tarot reader since age 12. And I am the creator of Goddess Illuminated. So I channel goddesses. I have one-on-one clients. I have groups. And what I do is ask for the goddess that wants to be embodied, her energy to be embodied at that moment or that space and time for either a group or a one-on-one client. So it's a little bit like coaching, but kind of like what you do. It's really allowing myself to step back and the goddess to kind of come forward and give her message, and trying to do that in as pure of a way as possible. My other life is as a writer, author, and a brand strategist. So I do a lot of marketing. I help people with their emails. I help entrepreneurs I have courses on, how to create content for your blog, email, and social media in a consistent and, way so you're irresistible to the clients who really need you, because that's the one thing that I've really learned is that marketing is so important. It's like you could be the most talented person in the world, be the most gifted and have so much to offer, but if nobody can find you, that's a problem.
You also have a wonderful book. I don't normally even read books. I don't know if you know this story. But even before I met Kris, this was a couple years ago, I write books. I don't normally read them, or I'm a flipper. I'm normally a flipper. And I actually was guided to get your book before I even met you. And so I read your book and it was amazing. So let's plug your book. What is your book?
It's called Return to Enchantment. Thank you for that. I forgot about that story. Return to Enchantment, your guide to creating a magical livelihood. So it goes through how to really work with magic and the imagination and all 7 chakras to kind of cover all different aspects of being an entrepreneur.
And I would recommend it to everybody. So yeah, and where can you find it?
Oh, it's on Amazon. Big time. Amazon, and actually Paradise Found carries it as well in Santa Barbara for people that are local, or they can even order it from them and they can get a signed copy if they want to order that too.
Okay, awesome. So cool. I'm excited to talk to you. We're going to be talking about a little bit about the rest of this year, and then we're going to be going in 2022, and we're going to be talking what the stars have, what I'm excited to see if it lines up with what I'm channeling. And so excited to see from the astrology point of view and just your intuition too. We're going to be talking about that today. So where do we want to get started?
Okay, so I definitely have specific dates and planets, but the overall feeling of 2022 is very feminine, partnership oriented, goddess oriented. We have a big emphasis on Pisces. And I'll probably go into that first, but Jupiter's going into Pisces on December 28th. So this year, and he's staying in Pisces till December 20th of 2022. So the end of next year.
And he goes in? When does he go in?
This year on December 28th.
28th. Okay.
So
what does this mean?
So what you want to think about what Pisces means. Pisces is all things spirituality, the esoteric, astrology, tarot, the arts, sensitivity, compassion, unconditional love. So imagine all of that expanding, right? And, so anybody who, if you're an entrepreneur, let's say, and you're business is like Vickie and I, where we work in that realm, things are going to bust out. Things are going to expand and grow for you. And if you're a Pisces or a Pisces rising, Pisces moon, or have a stellium in Pisces, any strong placement. So a stellium could be like 4 or 5 planets in the sign of Pisces or in your 12th house, right?
Right.
So Pisces people in particular will be extra lucky in love and money. It's going to be 2022 for Piscean people is going to be possibly the year that you meet your true love.
Oh, cool.
So it's it's going to be a great time. So Jupiter was the original ruler of Pisces, because Jupiter rules Sagittarius mostly, but Pisces is also ruled by Neptune. So here's a beautiful thing. Let's see here. Neptune and Pisces and Jupiter are both going to be in Pisces, and they actually meet up in conjunction the first time on April 12th, 2022. Actually might be the only time for a long time. So April 12th, 2022. So what you want to think about is that Neptune rules all things the entertainment business. So television, film, the music industry, anything having to do with beauty and glamour, celebrities. So April 12th is a beautiful day to, show up and shine in some way, maybe on social media. Let me look at I'm going to just check.
Is it a good day then too, I would think, for people to put projects out that they really want to become more famous at whatever area in their life?
Yes. So I don't know if I don't think there's any retrogrades during that time.
There's a lot of eclipse in 2022. I do know that.
Yes. Yeah. I've got a whole eclipse report too.
Okay, good.
So we're going to go into that pretty soon. Okay. But what I'm thinking for all of us, what's so beautiful is we think of Pisces as the 12th house, right? Which means, Aries is the first house. So Aries is like the baby of the zodiac.
Right.
And then so we go all the way from Aries to Pisces. So this is like Jupiter and Pisces is something about to be birthed. And I feel like there is something, really special too about, Jupiter is called both the great benefic because he's all about luck and good fortune and abundance, but he's also called the guru in Vedic astrology. So the guru is the teacher that shows us the light within. So I feel like everyone, not just Pisces, is going to be really lucky.
Awesome.
Throughout all of 2022. This is a really good placement because the 12th house means that the 12th house, like Pisceans are actually, if you think of them on like an astrological scale, they are made up of every single sign, right?
Right. That's pretty cool. So I have a question about this, and other people may have the same question too. So remember a while back when astrology kind of changed, signs changed or something? Mm-hmm. Well, my rising sign used to be a Capricorn, and then now I look it up on charts and it says Pisces, which I thought that was kind of interesting on how it changed to that extreme. Is that normal? Like, is that really happening? Remember years back when astrology, they said, well, the planets changed because I don't know why. Do you remember this?
Yeah, not everybody follows that. Not everybody follows that. So,
okay, got it.
But I think, I would have to look at your chart, but I'm pretty sure you have a lot of Pisces. You must have a strong Pisces placement in your chart to be doing the work that you do, for sure.
I have a Scorpio moon. I do.
Yeah. So you're going to be really affected by the eclipses. So Taurus Scorpio axis. So all of 2021, we had Gemini Sagittarius eclipse axes, which is all about innovation, expansion of, especially in the virtual realms. So this was a great year for people to build the virtual business. 2022 was Taurus and Scorpio, sensuality. People want face-to-face contact. People want more sex. We're going to be a lot more Kundalini rising probably for people during these eclipse times. And let's see.
I love
I'm
that.
going to go into that after Venus. We're talking about Venus next.
Okay, let's talk about Venus.
Also the ruler of Taurus and Libra. So Venus is going to be in Capricorn. So Capricorns, Libra, Taurus are going to probably be really feeling this transit. So,
and the whole year, or just a certain part of it?
So this is what it starts off. Venus is in Capricorn right now, went in, I think, around sometime late November. And it stays in Capricorn until March 6th. Now, this is 4 months, 5 months, 4 or 5 months that it's in the sign of Capricorn, which is very unusual. And part of this is because Venus goes into the underworld. So Venus is going into the underworld the December 19th. So, in like 9.
Is that good? Is that good that Venus is going in the underworld?
Yes. But there are things to look out for. So we'll go into that. Okay. But, from the 19th of December to January 28th, it's basically a retrograde cycle for Venus. And, so when she goes into the underworld, we look at it as like Inanna going into the underworld. It's all about stripping down to what's the truth. Stripping. So it's not just a personal thing. This is, Venus is mostly a personal planet. So she's going to be hitting most of us on a personal level, but on a collective level, Capricorn has to do with structures, money, wealth, fame, status, the status quo, also the patriarchy or the wounded masculine patriarchal side can also be seen in this Venus. So, it's all about all of us stripping down to the core of what is our truth. So that way, when all the structures kind of fall, and the structures have been falling apart since 2008, since Pluto entered Capricorn. Right. So we're going to have Venus and Pluto in Capricorn at the same time. Pluto is the underworld. Pluto is the phoenix rising from the ashes, and alchemy and alchemizing pain and suffering. Also the shadow. And this is all about, we're going to be doing a lot of shadow work, particularly around love relationships and money and career.
Okay.
So
and for people that don't understand, because some people don't understand the shadow, what does that mean? Or when you say we're going to be doing work and going into the shadow work?
Yeah. So let's look at, the shadow of Venus in retrograde would be jealousy or possessiveness in relationships. It could also mean
that means it's going to come forward more in your life, whether it's you or the other person.
Well, it's always us, right? Because the other person's our mirror. The person's our mirror. So if the shadow really represents parts of ourselves that either we don't accept. It's usually we don't accept these these qualities because the society thinks they're bad, or we're ashamed of them. So then they come out through other people and in our interactions with other people, for sure. So there's a lot of different things, but the overall theme here is commitment and getting more serious. It's definitely, and getting more serious in our careers and getting more serious in our relationships. So love will mature. If you're in a love relationship, that love is going to mature. Now, during a Venus retrograde, things can unravel a little bit. So it's really important to have, the kind of perspective that's long range, so you might get triggered by your partner or by something in your business or something and be like, oh, I just want to quit. I just want to break up. I just want to stop. When maybe it's just time to step back and take a look at it and not necessarily do anything really rash, right? Also, Venus in retrograde, you do not want to change your hair, get plastic surgery, no Botox. So that's happened. It starts December 19th. If you have any sort of beauty treatments, major beauty treatments, the time to do it is now.
Okay.
Get it done.
They could go bad.
Mistakes can happen, or you can regret doing it.
Okay. So
I mean, the good thing with hair, it's like, hair grows back generally. So we don't have to worry too much about that. But, if you decide to get a nose job or a boob job or a butt job and you may not be happy with it.
You don't want your big butt after it just came out. It's lumpy.
You don't want a lumpy butt. You don't want an unbalanced or boobs that don't hang right.
So
whatever.
when does it go forward again? For those of you that are getting some kind of boob job or whatever, so when does it go forward again?
You don't want to schedule it for December 19th through January 28th.
Okay, good news. There'll be a lot.
Yeah, that's good advice. I would follow that. Now, this could also, these kinds of energies can also make us feel a little more needy. So we might also tend to cling to people or to things or to money or what, rather than, again, going down to our truth and coming from that place, people may sometimes want to cling to something on the outside. And so it's a really good time to work on self-love and also ask for what you need, right? There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with needing extra affection and love. Right. So if you're feeling that way, again, don't be ashamed of it, express it, and know that ultimately we are always the ones responsible for our own self-love and getting what we need.
For sure. Okay, that's right around the holidays too. So it just sounds like give yourself some extra TLC. Will truth be coming out too and everything too when we go into the dark side? Like, is that when Venus goes retrograde? Does this also mean that truth will be coming out, in everybody's lives and not just locally, globally too?
Yeah. So there's some interesting things that I wanted to talk about that, we talked about, strength and integrity and truth. More truth is definitely going to come out in relationships for sure. And depending on, other things, it could be, a truth comes out with a work colleague, because again, Capricorn has a lot to do with work and money. And on January 8th, we have a Venus star point day. So I don't know if you ever heard about this, but these are really interesting. And
what date is it? I'm writing this down. What date is it?
January 8th. So this is when the Earth, Sun, and Venus form a 5-pointed star in the sky. And we know that a 5-pointed star is the symbolic representation of Venus. So this is a very auspicious day, particularly for manifesting love and money. And at the same time, she is in retrograde. So the power of this particular star point is not going to be quite as powerful for manifestation, but maybe more powerful in reviewing, wow, I got all these things. I manifested all these things in 2021. And now I really think I need something different. Maybe I was asking for the wrong thing, or I thought I wanted something else. So be like any sort of retrograde, like Mercury retrograde, is a good time. That would be a good day to review, like how far you've come in love relationships or in your career and work or projects, and go, yeah, I think I want to take a little bit of a turn or do a tweak here and there. So that's a good day.
Kind of make sure you're on the right path or not, if it's ready now to change it up.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay, awesome.
And, for women, this Venus transit starts off the year in a very particular flavor, which is, again, more serious, committed, and really serious about planning big career moves. And I mean, it's probably for everybody, but I think for women, we see more and more women coming out in business, coming out as CEOs, coming out as leaders. That's part of what you do as well, Vickie. So I think a lot more women are going to be seeking mentors at this time. So if you're a coach, this is a great time to really put up your shingle virtually, like really be out there telling people, I'm here to help you. And especially for women in small and medium-sized business. Awesome. And we might also see some very famous women taking bigger leadership roles with companies, with organizations, or with just bigger messages.
Yeah, so we are moving into the goddess times. This is where women are coming out more, becoming more stronger, and moving more into our power.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. So that was a lot. We want to go into the eclipse
Yes.
because the eclipses really affect all of us. And
I just heard how many there is. There's a lot. Like, is there like extra more in 2020?
Right now I'm counting 1, 2, 3, 4. I think there's 4, maybe 5.
Okay.
But it could, yeah, I definitely have 4 written down here.
Okay.
So what you want to think about is we're totally changing the flavor. The year of 2022 is the year of sensuality, really Kundalini rising, being more, things like Tantra, things like polyamory, different kinds of sexualities and different kinds of sexual practices, sexual magic. All of that is going to be very much a central thing. And then we have memory of all that Jupiter and Pisces energy really expanding spirituality on a massive global level, because that's, Jupiter is a big, powerful planet, right? So the eclipse
orgasmic. Is it it sounds like as you're talking it, I'm like, wow, I just feel this orgasmic energy of not just sexuality, but sensuality and some romance thrown in and just new adventures around that way. Is that what it's kind of feeling like?
If that's what it feels like to you, yes, put it in there, because you're going to be downloading stuff as I'm talking, right? We're always connected.
Orgasmic. I know. I'm like, wow, this is like fun. Let me get into this. Yeah. So it feels like that kind of energy.
Yeah. So it's a great time. So let's talk a little bit about eclipses. So eclipses are disruptors. They will take things and turn them upside down. They will right wrongs, or sometimes make something that's right kind of like, just again, turn everything on its head. So expect the unexpected during the eclipse. So the first eclipse of 2022 is April 30th. It's a partial solar eclipse in Taurus. So the Taurians are really going to feel it, obviously, but we're all going to feel it wherever Taurus is.
So let's what am I going to feel? Am I going to be like, holy crap? Or am I going to be like,
yeah, so it's a solar eclipse. So we have 2 kinds of eclipses, lunar and solar. So a solar eclipse will a lot of times have a lot to do with an awakening and new passion. Like all of a sudden, boom, you're just going to download something, or you'll just come upon something that is like, this is so what I need to be doing. This is what I need. This is what my heart needs to be following. So with Taurus, sensuality, money, Taurus again is ruled by Venus, love, money, sensuality, the body, earthiness, and it's a fixed sign, right? So this is about being very grounded and clear about what feels good to you, especially in your body. So I'm not saying it's not a sexual energy, but I'd say, it's more on the axis of sensuality with wanting, like a lot of people, I know I'm like so over Zoom now, right? Like people are just done. People want to go on retreats. They want to go to beautiful places.
Right. Yeah.
They want like beauty treatments and spa treatments again. So we're going to see like anybody who runs spas and massage retreats are going to finally start to go up again.
Okay.
So I'm also feeling that, if we're talking about the big C and all of these mandates and laws and everything.
Yeah, what's that? Well, I was going to ask you.
I'm just wondering if that's all going to totally be switched off for some reason. I mean, this is a 2-year cycle, so it may not happen right away. It might only just start happening. But I think we're going to see a change because people are freaking tired of it. Yep. They're tired of the isolation. Humans are not meant to not be touched. We need to touch and be touched.
Connection. That's what
it's
about. Yeah, connection.
So we might see like a huge revival in like those different kinds of festivals, like alternative festivals, alternative love festivals, people wanting group sex, people wanting multiple sexual partners. Things might really change, even in committed relationships. So we're going to be tested on what do we believe about those sorts of topics, and are those beliefs really still healthy? Are they just, again, another reflection of the patriarchy and puritanical thinking and all of this twisted sexuality that we saw, like with the Catholic Church? All of this, I think, is definitely going to be like, really highlighted, and people are just not going to put up with it.
So opening up, because the other thing to the eclipse, and I know they eclipse things out, but it also sounds like it's going with the new shift of the universe, of new ways of structures, beliefs, and just a new way of living, pretty much new energy of living, like taking away all those old lower beliefs, limiting beliefs, like this is the way life is and you have to do this to get this. It sounds like when you're talking, it sounds like it's going to be more freedom and more people expanding their way they're thinking.
Yes, well, because we also have Taurus, and Scorpio. So it's the other eclipses, there's a lunar eclipse in Scorpio on May 15th and 16th.
Yes, I'm doing a retreat that underneath that one. So tell me about that one. I'm maybe in Sedona, Arizona, doing a retreat on that one.
Yeah, so when we talk about lunar eclipses, that's about releasing. Mm-hmm. And that's about certain things leaving our lives. So with the Scorpio tinge to that, it's rebirth, death and rebirth, the phoenix rising from the ashes. Definitely a great time to do any sort of Kundalini breath work, release all that, again, really releasing those limiting beliefs and being open to the secrets of the universe. So things that were maybe hidden, because Scorpio has to do with what is hidden. So solar eclipses and lunar eclipses, because we also have a solar eclipse in Scorpio as well in October, and a lunar eclipse in Taurus on November 8th. So all of this is basically communicating to us on that very subtle level that we have to rebirth ourselves. We have to come out with a new, fresh perspective on our bodies, on what makes us stable, right? Because before, what made us stable was having, the 9-to-5 job. And we're seeing more and more with this great, resignation, like people are leaving their jobs. They're like, oh, I don't need this. I don't need this bullshit. I don't need a 9-to-5 job. Right. I can make money making sprays and selling crystals and doing readings. So everybody is going to be really looking at, I've been married for 10 years and I'm not happy. And maybe we would be happier if we invited another couple into our bedroom, or if we decided to go take tantra classes together or something. It's all about breaking out of anything solidified and all these hidden things, even around money. There's going to be a lot of interesting things probably going on with the stock market. Yeah, and with crypto too.
Yes, I want to talk about that.
So I feel like there's going to be crypto is here to stay. It's only going to grow. It's only going to become more and more mainstream. Mm-hmm. And at the same time, it's going to be, I have a feeling there's going to be a huge expansion, because crypto, in a sense, represents liberation from this false money structure that we've all been living under for so long. It has to do with
and that scares a lot of people, just so you know, because they're so used to
it. Does scare a lot of people.
I mean, anytime you say money, people like freak out. And I've been getting big time downloads too from my guides. Are like, invest in crypto. And I've been saying that we're going to be in a cashless system. We're moving that way for sure.
Yeah. So, but crypto is probably going to continue to be volatile. Like, as I'm sure you've seen, Bitcoin is down quite a bit. Everything's kind of starting to go downward. It was all going up and now it's going down, but it's going to go back up again.
Right.
It's Scorpio and Taurus eclipses are about healing money wounds and healing the money shadow and talking about it and being open to new ways of making money, new ways of investing, new ways to perceive money and perceive value. So it's not even money anymore. It's about value, social value, all whatever it is, personal value. And its value is going to be, heightened by Pisces, with Jupiter, Neptune, and Pisces value. Because Taurus, look at Taurus. I'm sure you know this from your own personal experience. When you don't feel confident, when you're not loving yourself, everything goes to shit. You can't make money, nothing manifests, right? And this is part of what you teach people, because you are a Taurus. This is wisdom that you have embodied. This is who you are. Right. So this is a beautiful time for you to continue those teachings. And yeah, it's going to be a huge revolution around how we see value, especially around money, and how we're going to change that whole thing around.
So I know a lot of people are going to ask this because they've been asking. So the crypto, do you see a time when, and you said stock market too. So do you see a time frame when the crypto, to really make sure you invest before it goes up, or is it just the whole kind of year?
Oh boy. Yeah, as far as the when to buy and when to sell in crypto, I don't think we can really, I don't like giving financial advice about that. But what I can say is right now I'm definitely buying more, but I consistently try to put at least 100. I don't make a ton of money right now, but what I'm doing is I put $100 a month into crypto. And then if it really goes down, maybe I'll put 200 or 300 into it. So look at it as like a long-term program. And then, we could, with these eclipses in Scorpio and Taurus, we could see a huge jump and we could see a huge dive, right? So at a huge jump, maybe you feel like, wow, I could use some extra cash in the coffer. So then maybe you sell some. But I think overall, look at it as a more of a long-term investment proposition, as opposed to, trying to ride the ups and downs. Unless if you really know the crypto market and really are have been in it for 5 to 10 years. Yeah. But I try to not make big moves, but I'm a Capricorn. I'm super conservative.
Right.
So that's just.
So what about the stock market? So you said there would be some changes on stock market.
Yeah, I think, like you said, what we're going to see is a lot of these investments, like real estate and things that people thought were so stable, big cap, large cap investments, all of that. Everybody has been, that we've all been taught to put most of our money in those things.
Right.
And it's not going to be the place to put your money. It's not going to be the place. So
talk that, because, I'm moving from California right now to Florida, because California is so expensive right now. I mean, everywhere is going up. Florida is going up too tremendously since everybody's moving there. But so my question is too with real estate, because, here in California, I live in Santa Barbara, where everything has gone up, as you know, because she lives here too. It's insane. So do you feel that next year, 2022, that, these people are going to continue, it's going to continue to rise, or will there be a fall where it's just not going to be as worth much as it was, previously?
That's a good question. Yeah. Again, Taurus will definitely have eclipses, and Taurus will definitely have an effect on real estate as well, because Taurus is land, landowners for sure. And Capricorn is landowners, and we've got all this Venus stuff in Capricorn and Pluto in Capricorn. So Pluto went into Capricorn in 2008, right around that big housing disaster, the mortgage disaster, right? The banking disaster. That's when we saw it. So Pluto is going to leave Capricorn, I think 2023. So in 2022, it's like at the very last little degree. So what I think we're going to feel is, we're going to feel again a little bit more of a meltdown in the housing market somehow, and in banking. The restructuring of that is definitely happening, but it's happening in ways I don't think we expected, like crypto. Like people are going to start again not counting on the 9-to-5 job, not counting on, I'm going to invest all my money in Target or in, GE or in, Verizon or, Amazon, like all of those things. they become these big balloons, and they're so like power hungry and trying to take all of the benefits, all of the
Right.
right.
They're going to be right. Yeah. So
So,
yeah,
so I think we're going to see corrections in those areas for those big over, just greedy, all that stuff is really going to be frowned upon.
right. So I was going to ask you this too, because one of the things I just recently saw my readings after January, the end of more toward the end of January is, and this is in California. I was reading this, but I saw new rules and laws coming in, and also something with property tax, where I feel they're going to, just go crazy on property tax here, or something with real estate. I don't know exactly what it was, where people are going to even move out even more or lose a lot of money. So is that like this time too? Does it kind of come in where there'll be new rules and laws like globally, or is it, even if it's here just in the United States, but also is it on a bigger level?
Yeah, so Capricorn is definitely about the law for sure, and so is Jupiter.
So when does
So,
that happen? When is that, like in
so
January?
Jupiter, like I said, moving into Pisces, the law is compassion. The law is higher unconditional love. The law is, more democracy, more fairness,
Right,
really.
right. More fairness will come in next year.
So I feel like, there could definitely be some, people who are not coming from a good place, not coming from a higher level of thinking, not coming from a higher level of intention, could really get screwed. And that's probably a good thing. It might be their lesson, right?
Yeah.
So
So that's pride is coming in, because people have been asking that big time, and the other thing is karma is being healed, and karma is coming up into the truth, right? So with that too, where you said that is happening, so definitely people are going to be asking about on a global level everything going on right now with the virus, and what we feel that's next year, with that, with rules, laws. And do you still see, because people are definitely going to ask this, oh, is the pandemic still going on?
Yes, and I feel like there will be some truth coming out about, there pandemic, like, I don't know, like I've never gotten an antibody test, and I've been exposed to so many people with COVID. Like I'll go, like this person, like, I was with them yesterday, and then I go get a test, I'm always negative. Why is that?
Exactly.
I don't think I've ever had COVID. I really don't think I'm ever going to get it. I'm not vaccinated. I don't plan on getting vaccinated. So
So this is a great thing. As you know, I'm not vaccinated either. So we have a lot of those people, and I'm also health intuitive. So I will tell you, like in a medium, so getting vaccinated, putting on that mask is when it's your time to go, it's your time to go. So with that being stated though, what do you feel next year? Because we do have a lot of the vaccinated mandates going in right now. They're trying to do that, and on a global level, but also here in the United States. So is what I've been kind of feeling is things are going to retaliate, or people, it depends on what states, right? It depends on where you live, where people will be fighting back. So do you feel that the mandates will take place? And I know some countries are already deep in that, but do you feel there's going to be anything?
I think a lot of the mandates will probably get overturned. Because a lot of them really just, they're not constitutional. I mean, every country has its own laws, but I think at the end of the day, people are like, each of us is responsible for our health.
Right.
I'm not, this whole thing, you're selfish if you're not vaccinated. That's a bunch of bullshit. I'm responsible for my own health. You are responsible for your own health. If you want to get vaccinated, fine. Right. I'm going to keep myself healthy in the ways that I know how. So
right.
I think taking responsibility is going to be a big part of next year, and being accountable. We're all going to be accountable, but on that big global scale and government scale, they're going to have to start being more accountable, and trying to pass mandates that I think a lot of stuff is going to be overturned. I'm already seeing it somewhat in California. I think something went to court. Was it last week that just, it was a mandate that just got cut. It just got done.
Oh, that's awesome. I didn't know that.
Yeah. So I'm not
So
sure. There's a lot of different things happening. And
Right.
then, I know New York has some craziness and, but
Yeah.
everybody's kind of up in arms about it. And I think as a collective, it's about what is really true on the global level and on the personal level, and really having accountability and not putting your responsibility on government. Well, government can tell me how to protect myself. They'll protect me. They're here to take your money. They're here to take your power. They're not here to really protect you.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
how.
So that too, then so with the 2022, when it comes to, I'm just going to talk about United States here right now, because we have a lot going on with our presidency, and we have the COVID, and we have politics, and we just have all this stuff. And so with that being next year, do you feel that's going to be more peaceful, or do you feel things will come up, or do you feel states will start pulling out and the governors will start having more say? Do you see a breakdown of the United States, how we used to know it? Or, because as we're moving into this new structure, or what do you kind of feel with the rules and laws on that? Is it more of an energy of peace, or more of an energy of like the volcano coming up to like get, new things happening?
This is what I'm seeing. And I know I haven't looked at the chart of the United States in a long time, but I do know when I looked at it last year that, in 2020, I looked at the chart and I didn't see much difference for this year, but for next year, 2022, there are some big things happening on the United States chart. And I think I'm trying to remember exactly what I saw, but what's going to happen is there will be a lot of new laws or new or stuff being overturned. I don't think my sense is the mandates overall will not hold, maybe for part of the year next year, but there's there's going to be a major shakeup in the United States government for sure.
Right. Yeah, I feel that for sure too.
I feel maybe summertime. Is that what you're feeling? I'm feeling maybe around summer solstice, either winter solstice or summer solstice. Of something might happen this winter solstice too, like December 21st, but I'm thinking even the summer solstice. So that's June 21st of 2022. And, the birth time, we consider the birthday of the United States, July 4th, right? Whatever.
Right.
And every astrologer argues about that date, but I usually keep it as the 4th of July.
Right.
So, but I feel like something is really going to become highlighted around the summer solstice.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome. Well, summer solstice is always a great time to rebirth. So probably will be a rebirth then. So then I have a couple more questions then. The awakening. So next, people have also been asking, when are people going to wake up? And people have already been going through these shifts already this year of becoming awake and, seeing things differently and on a higher level consciously. So is that 2022? Do you feel that people will be doing that, or will there be more of a division, or, how do you feel that will be?
I think it's going to be much more of an awakening. It's going to be huge. People that have been resisting it will just be
see it.
I think, like I said, anybody who's an astrologer, tarot reader, healer, coach, channeler, expect your business to go up. Expect your business, because more and more people it's going to be, spirituality and astrology, all of this is, I feel like it's really mainstream to me. It feels really mainstream, but it's going to be even more mainstream.
Right.
Right. So I think it's going to be great. I think a lot more people are going to have, especially of Kundalini explosions and Kundalini awakenings. And I'm feeling earthquakes too next year. We had an earthquake. It was epicenter in Carp yesterday, or the day before
Right,
yesterday. And I could feel it.
So did Florida. It's so weird because I predicted some earthquakes in places not normal, and Florida's totally not normal. They did the same day. That is so crazy.
Yeah, so we're going to probably see more earthquakes next year, and different kinds of maybe volcano eruptions. But yeah, we're gonna have a lot of earth changes. Earth is really like we're all up leveling, and so is the earth. It's like it's all a collective awakening and up leveling.
Awesome. And then what about, I mean, it's not awesome that we're having volcanoes because that would be not that'd be kind of crappy. But it's nice that we're getting the clearing aspect. So with that too, do you feel that this is the year for people to change it up, to move, to stay centered? Like what is the energy of people in generally? Change, no change?
I think there's going to be change, and also people want more stability within themselves, and maybe, yeah, and home might be a big part of it. Like where I live, where is my home? What is home to me? It'll be a great year to really ground into that. And sometimes we're not sure right away, and it takes, multiple eclipses, multiple, transits for us to really move. Like, because I'm a Capricorn, it's very hard for me to move. Like I've been in this place, and I'm just gonna give notice January 1st and be out by February 1st. I have no idea where I'm gonna move.
Oh my God. Well, exciting.
But I know I have to do it. I know I have to do it. So
that's awesome. Well, and talking to you about that, because a lot of my clients have been asking me for their soul tribe. They're all seeking their soul tribe. And, maybe where they're living right now isn't their soul tribe. But so do we feel 2022, when you said home, do you feel people will find their soul tribe?
yes. And I also think there's going to be a lot more awareness of the star beings, because they're coming through like crazy. I'm getting the Lyrans, the Pleiadians,
The
the
Palladians.
Sirians, Hathor Star Nation. Everybody's talking to me. So I think there's some big star changes coming, and I think they are going to start really channeling and downloading information on a massive level to the planet next year.
So
and it's already started.
Yeah. So that was one of the things, is aliens. So I've been seeing and know that, and I feel that next year we're going to literally see them, and they're going to be coming out more. And yeah, people will definitely be channeling them, but I also feel them up on the planet more. So is there a shift there with that 2022 of aliens?
Yeah. So we're probably not going to have time to talk about this. I was going to talk about Mercury retrograde is a time to jump timelines, and also to be in contact with other worldly beings,
Right.
aliens, whatever you want to call them. And also the portal dates, where the veils are thin. So we'll talk about, maybe we should do another one and really talk about this particular topic next time.
Yes, that sounds great. Well,
because I feel like I've given a pretty full report.
Yeah. Well, let me ask two more questions, because we're in December, and I heard December 15th is the date, and then obviously the winter solstice. So any information on those two dates?
So December 15th.
And this is 20.
Oh gosh, that's really coming up, huh?
Yeah, that's like a couple of weeks from now, I guess.
Yeah, well, I would say between December 15th and the solstice, there is a very major, I think it's a full moon lunar eclipse in Gemini.
Again, okay.
I'm pretty sure it's the last eclipse in Gemini.
Okay. Wow.
Okay. But it's definitely a full moon. There's a full moon, and it's right on the North Node. So the North Node is all about a collective movement and Gemini is about improvements, and also innovation and growth and communications in the virtual world, in society at large. So it's going to be pretty major. So I feel like something is definitely going to take place on that day or around that day. So that's December 19th. So that's like 4 days after the 15th and a few days before the solstice. So we have that full moon, and it's going to be quite transformative. It's all about like short distance travel. It's about like, yeah, I'm feeling like more and more people maybe for Christmas might opt to not fly on a plane. They may want to just, stay close to home, stay close to home and hearth, to the people that feel like home to them.
Okay.
And we'll also see shadow. I mean, Gemini is the twins. It's duality, good and evil, positive, negative, black and white, masculine, feminine. So all the duality is also going to come out to play. So there's going to be a lot of shadow coming out on
So is
that day.
that a good thing? Like, does that mean, just for people to be aware, or is that more like truth coming out?
Well, it's definitely truth coming out for sure. But it's also about being more aware of what really makes you happy. And sometimes what makes us happy, or what makes us know what makes us happy, is we have to find the opposite of that. So
Yes, we do. We know what we don't like.
yeah, so sometimes you're like, oh yeah, I know what I want, and then you see like a little shadow of it. You're like, ooh, no, 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 no.
No. Right. Well, awesome. Well, thank you so much for being on my show. And how can people find you or get in touch with you?
Fantastic. I'm on Instagram at krisoster.phd. I'm on Facebook as Kris Seraphine-Oster. And my website is mythicrhythm.com. And I also have another website called goddessilluminated.com. So any of those places you can find me. I have a beautiful goddess mystery school on Patreon. And every week I come on and do live readings, and I do mini card readings for anybody who's live. It's a lot of fun. I always do, each week you get the full astrology report. We do, for December, we're working with all the Archaea, which are the female archangels. So we've been working with the Archaea Hope, and now we're going to be working with the Archaea Faith, who is the twin flame of Archangel Michael. So we're going into, again, opening the third eye, opening the throat chakra, the truth, and rising with that faith that, again, we don't have to hold on to the past. We really now are safe to move forward into what our intuition is pulling us into, instead of trying to plan everything, and then your intuition tells you to do something else. We're like, well, I planned this. So yeah, the Patreon is a great, it's a lot of fun to do. So
it sounds amazing. Well, I'll have
you.
to connect with you too soon before I move and you move.
Yes,
Maybe you'll move to Florida. You never know. Let spirit just guide you, right?
absolutely. I love you, Vickie. Thank you so much
Thank
for
you so
everything.
much for being on my show, and I'll see you soon. All right.
Okay,
Sending
bye,
love
everyone.
to everybody. Bye.
Bye.